Hey guys, Zelonius here. Welcome to another video on the channel. In this video today, we are going to be looking at the best 5 formations in FIFA 23. These formations are all meta in different ways. I'm going to go through them all. I will give you a quick rundown of how I would use them in game, like the formation, what type of players you want in there, the tactics, how I would set them up. And honestly, I'm not really going to rank them, but they're just going to be 5 ones that I think are really good on the game. So the first one we're going to start with is my current favourite, is the 4-4-2. There are 2 variations to it. I tend to use the one with defensive mids, that's the second variation. And then I go to the more aggressive one if I need to, if I'm losing a game. But the 4-4-2, the reason it's so good, you get the 2 strikers. 2 strikers in a formation is always really nice. Having 2 strikers in a formation is always going to make a huge difference, because it just makes the link-up, build-up play a lot easier up top. 2 wingers, when I set this tactic up, I put them on comeback on defense. The comeback on defense means you have 2 flat banks of 4. That's very, very hard for people to defend against, score against. It's very solid to break down. The 2 CDMs allow you to put a defensive player in, then a really creative one. So it's very good going forward, because you have a midfield that get involved. You have width with the wingers, you have 2 strikers, but then defensively it's really solid and hard to break down. Generally speaking, for this one, I would go low width. I would go probably like 45-50 depth. That's what I tend to run. I am going to be experimenting with 72 though. Been hearing that gives auto offside trap, so I want to give that a go. Build up play, I always go direct in the 4-4-2. I think the 4-4-2 with the 2 strikers allows you to pin people back. If you go direct with it, works really well. I go 6 players in box, 50 width. And then, like I said, for the player instructions, I explained some of that there. I would have the fullbacks on stay back, though you don't need them to attack because you're already getting the width anyway. This is my go-to formation right now. I'm not saying it's like number 1, like I'm not ranking these as number 1 to 5, but it's just my favourite to use right now. But I am experimenting and trying different stuff out. So yeah, the 4-4-2 second variation, or the 4-4-2, either one work fine. Very good, very balanced. It's just pretty much always going to be a good meta formation on FIFA. Are you looking to improve at FIFA? Then Underdog Gaming is the place to be. Underdog Gaming is run by me, Zelonius, and Jambu, another FIFA pro, who have been full-time content creators and pro players for the last 6 years, hitting Elite Division and Top 100 with ease every single year. We've got lots of different tiers catered to what you want, from all the way from entry-level access to a big community Discord full of people all looking to improve and get better at the game, weekly articles and videos with exclusive tips and guides and tutorials, follow backs on Twitter where you can DM us and get full access to us, coaching sessions, gameplay analysis. We'll be doing a spreadsheet which will be updated throughout the year with all the OP meta players. If you want to improve at FIFA and you're serious about taking your game to the next level, Underdog Gaming is the place to be. You can find the Patreon by going to patreon.com/underdoggaming or check the link that's in the description of this video. I look forward to seeing you guys there. Next one, 4-2-3-1. The 4-2-3-1 is similar to the 4-4-2, but a little bit more narrow with a Lam and a Ramsey at the left mid, right mid. They don't defend quite as well as a left mid and right mid in my opinion. It's easier to keep the ball in this one. The link up and build up play is a bit simpler. You've got players closer together. I do not like the Cam and Striker partnership as much though in terms of the actual 1-2s around the box. But this formation is a bit more conservative than the 4-4-2. You can get more men behind the ball with the Cam. It's easier to build up in it. I would be going balanced build up rather than direct in this formation. I would probably be upping the depth a little bit just because you can be more aggressive with an extra man behind the ball. Players in box, this one can vary a bit. If you want to be more possession and slower, go 5 or 4. If you want to be more aggressive, go 7. I like it though. I think it's a good formation. I just find it really boring, but it's very effective. I've used it, did really well with it, got lots of wins. If you are a new player to FIFA, this is probably one of the easiest formations to start with, to be honest. It's definitely going to help you learn the fundamentals of FIFA more than other formations. Very solid across the board. Again, I would like a CDM who's on stay back, who's more of a destroyer, and then a creative one. You could even put him on deep line playmaker in this formation potentially. Pace out wide, big man up front or pace. It depends which version of console you're playing on to some extent. 4-2-3-1, like the 4-4-2, is very good and meta every year. We are going to go to the 5-1-2-2 for the next. A really OP formation this year. I don't enjoy using it as much as some, but when played well, the 5-1-2-2 is really crazy. The wing backs need to be on balanced attack or join the attack. If you do not have the wing backs going forward, it is a pretty bad formation because it's just useless going forward. But the width they give you, and then all the men in the middle, this is a really nice one. I would put the CDM as like a defensive player like Vieira. Centre mid, you want box-to-box all-rounders. Strikers, I've done attackers tier list last night. Check out that. Lots of good strikers would be on there. It's really, really good defensively. It's really hard to break down because it's got 5 defenders naturally, and then it's got 3 midfielders, but one of them's a CDM. The width you're getting in, it's really good with the wing backs. It's just a very good one. Not everyone clicks with it. I think if you don't use the width in this, you will struggle. On this, I would lower the depth to be stupidly hard to break down. Lower the width because you do not need much width when you've got 3 centre backs and lots of wing backs anyway. Build up play. I'd probably go balance because you don't want to force yourself into going forward so quick that you don't get the width with the wing backs. Width, I would go low width because the wing backs are giving you it anyway, probably like 40. Players in box, 7 to get the 2 centre mids in the box. Yeah, really good formation. Horrible to play against if someone knows what they're doing with it. The next one is the 4-2-2-2. This is kind of a hybrid between the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-4-2. Really good formation. Lots of pros really like this right now. Very similar, like I say. Just a hybrid of the 4-4-2 and 4-2-3-1. Kind of a middle ground for both. Again, keep your fullbacks on stay back. If you want to be really attacking, you could go balanced on this and kind of go narrow in the attack. Get even more width with the fullbacks and then lots of attacks in the middle. But that is a bit risky. Similar types of players you want to be using here. Honestly, for the tactics here, I'd be going like 40-45 width, 45-50 depth. I would be going direct in this formation, personally. Probably like 50 width. 6 or 7 players in box. Really, really good solid formation. Like I say, it's got just so many strengths of the 4-4-2 and 4-2-3-1. It doesn't have the natural width that the left mid and right mid give you in the 4-4-2 that kind of catches people out. It doesn't have the camp, the middle one that the 4-2-3-1 has, but it has a bit more link up, not as big gaps in the middle of the pitch, which is nice. And it's just very solid, and if you're good at crossing, it is really good for that as well. The last one we're going to talk about, there's honestly quite a few formations this year that seem really viable to me. The narrow diamond, I don't rate that highly on this game, at least not on new gen where it's really hard to dribble. It's always going to be fun to play, but it just doesn't work as well this year on new gen in my opinion. The 4-3-3 is definitely a lot more viable this year than any previous FIFA. I think the only problem though is that it just doesn't seem to be as good as the 4-2-3-1. The 4-2-3-1 is basically a better version of the 4-3-3 for the most part, in my opinion. 4-3-2-1, very good. Definitely rate that. That's one I want to experiment a bit more with. But the last one we're going to talk about is the 5-2-1-2. Similar to the 5-1-2-2, but you swap in the CDM for the cam. So it's a lot better going forward because you've got that front three with the cam and 2 strikers. And then the wing backs give you the width. It is crazy going forward. Honestly, one of the best attacking formations in the game. It's similar to the 3-5-2, but the 3-5-2 really does struggle defensively this year, in my opinion, because the left mid and right mid just don't help it enough. So you do get exposed down the wings, whereas this one has wing backs that are going to help you. For the tactics, I'd be going... By the way, press after possession loss on all of these. I didn't say that, but I always go that on every tactic. I'd be going probably quite high depth because I can with a 5-back. Low width because I really don't need it with having that many defenders, especially 3 centre backs. Balanced because you want to build up a bit more slower when you've got the width with the wing backs. Low width because you want a lot of men in the middle, but the wing backs are going to give you width anyway. Players in box around 5 or 6. But yeah, those are the formations that I think are really good right now. There's a lot of variety. I don't think you get shoehorned into having to play a specific one this year, which I really like. It's nice to see a game where you're not forced into playing in a particular way. Lots of great formations this year. What are your guys' favourite ones? And if you want to see tactics for some of these, I've got 4-2-3-1 tactics, 4-4-2, and 5-1-2-2. I'll probably be testing the 4-2-2 a lot more this week, and maybe even the 4-3-2-1. I don't put tactics out until I've tried and tested them properly, but I have played all these formations in draft, played against lots of pros using them, so they are tested, and I know pros really like them. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. As always, keep it spicy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.